Hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the kits for both Sakura and Rosanna. Sakura Bloom in Summer and Rosanna Chic Ocean. Both look amazing. I think Rosanna looks a lot better, just personally based on the burst animation, but we're going for both MLB or we'll try now. For those of you who don't remember, we got this kit preview for both of them. We don't know what the skills exactly do on every single one, right? Or how they activate. But this is really important, and I showed this the other day on stream, but Nikke uses a nomenclature for the skills. Every single icon has a meaning, be it for critical damage, be it for just a burst damage, be it just because it's based on how it activates. So based on the icons, we can understand how these skills activate and what they could be doing. Of course, this is nothing but a speculation, right? There is still no leaks, but I have here some, I went through every single Nikke in the game, basically, because I have no life, and I have here some references so we can more or less talk about what these skills could be doing and how they're going to be activating. That's the only thing that I can be sure, right? How they're going to be activating. So let's start with Sakura, since she is the first one coming out. Sakura Bloom in Summer. Before we start, leave a like, subscribe. We're going to be live later as usual. Come say hello, have a great time. Every single day, live playing gacha games on YouTube and on Twitch as well. So let's start with her. She looks amazing. We're going to be trying to MLB both of them, but she is an attacker, assault rifle, burst 3, wind. This is already good because for those of you who don't know, when we talk about wind and when we talk about burst 3s, there is no good options. Yes, there is SBS, but SBS is the best DPS in the game. After SBS, there is no wind elemental content you can actually play or take advantage of that extra damage, right? With D or Epinel, it's Copium and they just deal no damage, both SMGs. Quiri is a defender that buffs all other defenders, which it makes no sense, and then Nord is a support or sub DPS. So they are not doing really good damage. So these could be the unit that makes most sense for most people to grab at least one copy, so we can have another unit for raids. Nikke, when it comes to elemental content, I'm surprised because most games usually go for like a bigger percentage on elemental damage. Nikke is only a 10%, which is pretty good in my opinion, because you can, you're not losing a lot of damage if you don't have a full roster or B3s that are of that element. Of course, 10% when we're talking about those top 10 people or the tryhards is important, but for most people to get a good rank is not mandatory. So that's nice. We're getting a B3 finally, wind DPS. Now let's talk about her kit, the preview, and what those icons mean. Sakura Bloom in Summer is an attacker Nikke whose attack grows stronger every time she destroys the enemy's parts. She can sustain more powerful attacks according to the number of parts destroyed. If you haven't seen Sky's video or Ali Jane's video, this could be super good, this could be super bad. It depends how Shift Up handles this. There is a lot of bosses that do have damage to parts, right? They have parts that they regenerate constantly through the fight. There's a few bosses that do this constantly through the fight, and you can take a big advantage. Sakura could really shine here with Rosanna, right? So first of all, let's start with Bloom. This is a new icon. This is the first time this icon appears. When it comes to the clock usually means activates at the start of the full burst, or activates when enters a specific burst stage, or re-enters the burst, or maybe even cooldown reduction. It's always a clock, but it's never that clock. As you can see, this one is different, even though it has the same arrows, and this one is also different. You'll see this one a lot. So this is a new icon, could be a new activation type for this passive, which I will be down. If it's a new passive condition, I'm always happy to get these ones, because the more options we get and the more new mechanics we get, I feel it's a little bit funnier that way to make new team compositions based on those conditions. When team building gets a stale and you get the same thing over and over and over and over, it kind of gets boring, right? So a skill 2 full glory, every time you see this icon, you will see this, probably one of the most common icons. It's basically just extra damage or a buff or damage as a strong element. So I'm assuming that is going to be the active skill that actually buffs her damage every time she destroys parts, right? Which, once again, depending how much extra damage, or if this is a permanent buff or it has a duration, it will be really good or just a flop. And then lastly, Ephemeral Splendor. Like I was saying earlier, burst skills are always different as a different icon, so we do not know what it is. So all in all, we can tell that she will have a condition that procs on burst, most likely, and then an active skill that's going to be buffing her own damage. Pretty cool. And we'll see, because the only part that worries me a little bit is that she can sustain more powerful attacks according to the number of parts destroyed. I hope they don't try to make her a tank, because tanks in Nikke usually do not work unless we're talking about Noah or a couple more units, depending on the content that you're doing. Now let's move into the waifu of the summer part 1. I still think we're going to be getting summer part 2. Let me have my copium. Please give me summer sugar, right? Rosanna, Chic Ocean. Let's talk about her kit. Supported Assault Rifle B2 Wind. This is already kind of dangerous situation because B2s have almost no place. It's really, really hard to get a new B2 that will actually be usable on the top 5 teams for raids or for union raids or for any content, realistically speaking. If she is decent, however, you will be able to use her on your teams and actually enjoy her. I just hope she is not Clay or Bay level of unit. Just give us something decent to play with, right? So B2 might have problems finding a place on the meta, but it still could be possible depending how good she is. Rosanna Chic Ocean is a supporter Nike who enhances her allies' attack every time she destroys an enemy part. Not only does she support her allies in quickly destroying the enemy parts, she also maintains significant attack power after destroying them. We need to see how long this is, but it looks like she's a supporter that will actually be also doing pretty good damage, or maybe something similar to Dorothy, where she's a supporter, but not really, right? Now, let's talk about her skills, because once again, skill 1, Ferita, is a passive that is going to be the damage buff, depending how many parts she breaks, based on the skill icon. And the skill 2, knowing it's an assault rifle, every time you see this skill icon, it's based on number of shots landed. So for example, if this is a rocket launcher or a sniper rifle, this skill icon means attacking with full charge. If you see it on an SMG or on an assault rifle, it's always activate after landing X normal attacks. If it's an assault rifle, we can also guess like a small white 7 dwarfs 4, that is going to be after landing probably 50 normal attacks based on assault rifles, just on the base magazine and everything else, right? As you can see, once again, hitting with full charge, after landing 60 attacks, after landing 50 attacks. So she's gonna be getting a passive buff and then the active skill based on how many bullets she's shooting. So we can assume we want to go with max ammunition for Rosanna. We don't know yet for Sakura if they're going to be working together, most likely, but that's pretty cool. And then she also has Onda Grande, which is the first skill, which we do not know what it does because those are custom icons for every SSR. But that is pretty cool. In my opinion, this could be really nice, or this could be a total flop. I'm going to trash shift up because they've been doing limited characters or seasonal characters that are great. Even the collab characters have been really good recently, right? When we talk about abnormal characters and we talk about actually even all of them, we could say that Chainsaw Man 1, the first collab, was the weakest one, even though they're usable characters, but it's the weakest one. And then both Nier and ReZero were pretty good. ReZero taking the lead in terms of usability since they had no fan service. And then when it comes to the seasonal characters themselves, they have been really good, right? Ludmilla, Sameranis, etc. So can't complain with that. I'm expecting them to be decent, at least decent. I just hope they don't fumble the bag once again, giving us kits that make no sense though. Now that said, do let me know what you guys are expecting on these kits for these two. Do let me know if you are also expecting them to work together, right? Another bossing duo. That would probably be a good title for the video, a good clickbait. I'm gonna do that most likely, so you know we get some good clickbait on the title. But do let me know if you guys are expecting them to work together, just to be in general good units by themselves, and what are your expectations for summer. That said, it's gonna be it for this one. I wanted to talk a little bit about the kits for Rosanna and for Sakura. Once again, this is a pretty nifty trick. If you wanna know more about the skills, you can go into your account and check every icon and see what they do, and you'll see that there's always a pattern in there, which is pretty nice by Shifta. There is icons for critical damage attacks or critical rate attacks. There is icons for absolutely everything. So that's it. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. As usual, love you all bosses. Good luck with your pool dinner dates, and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。